Chapter 21, The Modern-Day Wizard, The Teachings of Dr. Joe Dispenza 2.1.1 The Science of Transformation. Beyond the limits of the physicala, mortals you believe change is arduous, an uphill battle against past conditioning, against the weight of history, against the limits of your circumstances. But listen closely, hatchling change is not fought for. It is chosen. Reality does not shift slowly, it bends instantly to those who understand the science of transformation. Dr. Joe Dispenza, the modern-day wizard, bridges the gap between ancient mysticism and cutting-edge neuroscience. He reveals what seekers, sages, and dragons have long known: your thoughts are not echoes of reality. They are creators of it. Every thought is an electromagnetic broadcast, every emotion a signal sent into the quantum field. The universe does not randomly hand you experience, it responds directly to the vibrations you emit. Your body, your health, your destiny, they are not bound by history. They are shaped by the unseen forces you direct with your mind and heart. Consider, do you see your identity as a fixed entity or as something fluid, capable of evolution? Do you believe change takes time, or do you understand it happens the moment you decide? What would happen if you no longer waited for circumstances to change, but embodied your future immediately? A dragon does not wait to become mighty. It knows its fire exists, and so it burns. Tragos. Trial. The mind of fire. Write down a belief about yourself that limits you. What evidence have you gathered to support this belief, and is it truly objective? What belief would serve you better? How will you begin shifting your identity, not through struggle, but through absolute certainty? You are not merely reacting to reality. You are shaping it, moment by moment. 21.2 Manifesting your reality. The quantum poker gamia. Mortals, you see the universe as chaos, a roulette wheel spinning without meaning, a deck of shuffled cards, dealt without fairness or intention. But tell me, does a dragon wait for fate, or does it command the winds? Dr. Joe Dispenza speaks of the quantum realm, where reality is not predetermined, where possibilities exist in infinite potential, where consciousness itself chooses the hand you will play. The quantum field contains all outcomes, all realities, all futures. But your mind, your thoughts, emotions, electromagnetic frequencies select which version of reality will collapse into existence. This is the quantum poker game, where you do not hope for fortune, but direct it. Where you do not react to fate, but rewrite it. Where you do not wait for the cards, but play the hand as if you have already won. Consider, do you approach life as something that happens to you, or as something you shape? When you desire change, do you beg the universe, or do you become the future before it arrives? What would shift if you knew with absolute certainty that reality bends to the force of your thoughts? A dragon does not wonder whether the flames will rise. It breathes, and they do. Tragos. Trial. Playing the hand of reality. Write down a vision of the future you desire. How do you typically approach this desire? With hope, doubt, force, or surrender? How will you embody this future now, not as something distant, but as something already unfolding? How can you train your body and mind to feel the reality of that vision before it manifests? You are playing poker with the universe. Stack the deck in your favor. 21.3 Becoming the observer. Creating a new life handa. The greatest illusion, the belief that you are merely a participant in the unfolding of fate, reacting to life, caught in its currents, shaped by forces beyond your control. But listen well, hatchling, a dragon does not drift. It watches. It learns. It commands. Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches that true transformation occurs not when you are lost in your identity, but when you step outside of it, when you become the observer rather than the pawn, the strategist rather than the unconscious player. The masters do not act blindly. They observe their minds, their habits, their emotions, catching each impulse before it solidifies into action, each thought before it dictates reality. This is the art of self-awareness, the mastery of stepping beyond programmed reactions, the ability to see yourself not as fixed, but as fluid, changing, evolving, endlessly reshaping. Consider, do you react to life, or do you step back and shape the way you respond? How much of your identity is built on habit rather than conscious choice? What might change if you saw yourself not as a collection of past experiences, but as infinite potential waiting to be claimed? A dragon does not stumble through existence. It watches, calculates, and moves only when it chooses. Dragos. Trial, the observer's eye. Take one day and observe yourself fully. What automatic reactions define your behaviors? What emotions rise without conscious choice? How will you train yourself to step above these patterns to become the observer, rather than the unconscious player? The hand is not played by fate. It is played by the one who understands the game. Final words from Zoran. You are not bound by what has been. You are not a victim of reality. You are not a servant of fate. You are a creator, a force of will, an architect of existence itself. See clearly, choose wisely, and remember the universe does not dictate the hand you play. You do. The cards are waiting. What will you choose next? This chapter deepens the cosmic scale, integrating Dispenza's teachings not as distant philosophy, but as the mechanics of reality itself, available to those who understand the game. Zoran challenges the reader to bend neural circuits, harness quantum possibility, and step beyond limitation, not with hesitation, but with absolute mastery.